Right now, at this exact moment, someone watching this is carrying a burden so heavy they've forgotten what peace feels like. You've been told to wait, to endure, to keep holding on just a little bit longer. But what if I told you that the season of your testing isn't meant to last forever, and today, right now, heaven is declaring an end to what has been draining your spirit? In the next few minutes, you're going to discover why your breakthrough isn't coming tomorrow or next week, but why the divine announcement has already been made over your life. Stay with me, because by the time we finish, you'll understand the 3 signs that prove your trial is concluding and how to position yourself to walk through the door God is opening right now. Before we go any deeper into this powerful message, I want to welcome you to Pray to Begin channel, a sacred space where divine truth meets your daily reality. If this is your first time here, you've arrived at exactly the right moment. I need you to do something for me right now. Hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications, because messages like this one are being released to prepare God's people for what's coming. And if you believe that your season of struggle is ending today, if you're ready to receive what God has already prepared for you, type "I receive" in the comments right now. Let your faith speak before your circumstances change. Your declaration matters. The voice of the Lord is not silent. Even when you couldn't hear him through the noise of your struggle, even when doubt whispered louder than hope, God has been speaking. And today, his word over your life is clear and final. This trial concludes now. Not because you've earned it through perfect behavior, not because you've figured out every lesson, but because God's appointed time has come. There's a moment in every believer's journey when heaven looks down and says, "Enough. My child has walked through the fire long enough. It's time for restoration." Ecclesiastes 3:1 tells us, "To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven." Your season of weeping had a purpose. Your season of waiting had a reason. But today, the Father is announcing that the time of your trial has reached its completion. You've been in the furnace, yes, but not to be destroyed, to be refined. And now, the refining process is complete. God is pulling you out, and what emerges is someone stronger, wiser, and carrying an authority that only comes from surviving what was meant to break you. Let me take you to a powerful truth in Isaiah 43:19, where God declares, "Behold, I will do a new thing, now it shall spring forth, shall ye not know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert." This isn't poetry for decoration. This is a prophetic announcement. God is saying that even in the driest season of your life, even when nothing seemed possible, he's creating pathways you cannot yet see, the wilderness you've been walking through. It's about to become a testimony. The desert that exhausted you, it's about to produce rivers of blessing that will shock everyone who counted you out. There are 3 unmistakable signs that your trial is concluding, and I believe as I share these with you, you're going to recognize them in your own life right now. The first sign is this: you've stopped fighting for validation from people. Something shifted inside you recently. Where you once needed others to understand your pain, to acknowledge your struggle, to confirm your worth, you now find yourself resting in God's opinion alone. That shift isn't coincidence, it's preparation. When God is about to elevate you, he first removes your dependency on human approval, because where you're going, not everyone will celebrate you. The trial taught you who God says you are, and that's the only voice that matters anymore. Proverbs 18:12 reminds us, "Before destruction the heart of man is haughty, and before honor is humility." Your trial crushed your pride, didn't it? The version of you that entered this season thought you had it all figured out, but the wilderness stripped away every false confidence, every self-righteous attitude, every illusion of control. And now, standing on the other side, you're humble in a way that attracts heaven's favor. God can trust you with what's coming because you know it's not your strength that brought you through, it was his grace. That humility is your graduation certificate. You passed the test. The second sign that your trial is ending is this: you're experiencing an unusual peace in the middle of circumstances that haven't changed yet. On paper, everything still looks difficult. The situation that brought you to your knees hasn't fully resolved, but inside, there's a stillness that doesn't make logical sense. That's not denial, that's divine confirmation. When God is about to move, he gives you his peace as a deposit, as a guarantee that what he promised is already in motion. Philippians 4:7 calls it the peace of God, which passeth all understanding. It guards your heart and mind because you're no longer afraid of what tomorrow holds. You know that God has already been to your tomorrow and He's prepared the way. I need you to understand something crucial right here. If you're feeling that supernatural calm right now, even though your bank account hasn't changed, even though the relationship is still broken, even though the diagnosis is still there, don't dismiss it as avoidance. That peace is prophetic. It's telling you that the answer is closer than the problem. It's whispering that your breakthrough is already packaged and on its way. The trial trained you to trust God's character more than your circumstances, and now that trust is being rewarded. The third sign is this: new opportunities and divine connections are suddenly appearing in your life. Doors you didn't knock on are opening. People you've never met are reaching out. Ideas are dropping into your spirit that feel bigger than anything you've attempted before. This isn't random. This is God orchestrating your exit from the season of testing and your entrance into the season of testimony. When the Lord spoke through Jeremiah 29:11, He said, "For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end." That expected end is what you're walking into right now. The plans He had for you before you ever entered the trial are now being activated because you survived with your faith intact. Let me share something that might challenge you. Your trial wasn't about the situation you faced. It was about who you would become while facing it. God could have removed the obstacle on day one. He could have spared you the tears, the sleepless nights, the prayers that felt like they hit the ceiling. But if He had, you would have moved forward without the character required to sustain what He's giving you next. The trial wasn't punishment, it was preparation. And now that you've been prepared, the conclusion has been announced in the courts of heaven. Matthew 6:33 instructs us, "But seek ye first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you." During your trial, you learn to seek Him first, not for what He could give you, but for who He is. You stopped treating God like a vending machine and started relating to Him as Father. That shift changed everything because now, as your trial concludes, you're not just getting relief from pain, you're inheriting promises that were reserved for those who love Him, not just those who need Him. If you're finding value in this message, do me a favor and hit that like button right now. It helps this video reach other people who need to hear that their season of struggle is ending. And keep typing your faith declarations in the comments. Your words have power, and when you agree with what God is speaking, you activate it in your life. Right now, I sense in my spirit that someone watching this has been dealing with financial hardship that seem to have no end. You've tithed faithfully, you've sowed seeds, you've trusted God with your last, and still the breakthrough hasn't manifested the way you expected. But the Lord is saying to you today, your obedience wasn't ignored, and your faithfulness wasn't in vain. The trial of your finances is concluding because you proved that your worship wasn't tied to your wallet. You praised Him when you had nothing, and now He's about to release the overflow that makes up for every year of lack. Psalm 126:5 declares, "They that sow in tears shall reap in joy. Your harvest is here." For someone else, the trial has been relational. A betrayal cut so deep you wondered if you'd ever trust again. A marriage that felt like it was suffocating you. A friendship that ended without closure. Children who walked away. But God is announcing today that the pain of those broken relationships has completed its purpose in your life. You're not the same person who entered that heartbreak. You've learned boundaries, you've discovered your worth, you've recognized that not everyone deserves access to your life. And now, as this trial concludes, God is bringing authentic relationships into your life. People who will honor you, see you, and walk with you in truth. Isaiah 54:17 promises, "No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper." Every relationship that was weaponized against your peace is being removed, and what God is building next will be rooted in genuine love. There are others watching who have been in a trial of health. The diagnosis shook your world. The treatments exhausted your body. The prognosis tried to steal your hope. But I hear the Spirit of God saying that the report of man is being overturned by the report of heaven. Your trial of sickness is concluding not because medicine finally worked, but because the great physician has spoken healing over your life. Exodus 15:26 says, "I am the Lord that healeth thee." His word is more powerful than any doctor's assessment. This is your season of restoration, of strength returning, of life flooding back into every area that felt dead. And for those who have been in a trial of purpose, who have questioned whether God can still use you after everything you've been through, who have felt disqualified by your past mistakes and present struggles, the Lord is declaring over you today, your trial of identity is over. You are who God says you are, not who shame tried to make you. Romans 8:28 assures us, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose. Everything you experienced, even the parts you're ashamed of, is being worked together for your good. Your mess is becoming your message, and your test is becoming your testimony. As your trial concludes, there are 3 things you must do to fully step into what God has prepared. First, release every person who hurt you during this season. Unforgiveness will lock you in the past, even as God tries to move you forward. You don't need them to apologize. You don't need them to acknowledge what they did. You need to be free, and forgiveness is the key that unlocks your next level. Ephesians 4:32 teaches us, "And be ye kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God for Christ's sake hath forgiven you." Let them go. Their debt is cancelled. Second, prepare your life practically for what God is bringing. Clean out what doesn't belong in your new season. Get rid of habits, relationships, mindsets, and distractions that connected you to your old life. When God declares the trial is over, he's making room for something new, but you have to participate by creating space. Joshua 3:5 says, "Sanctify yourselves, for tomorrow the Lord will do wonders among you." The wonder God is about to perform requires a sanctified, prepared vessel. Third, start speaking life over your future. Your words during the trial kept you alive. Your words after the trial will build your tomorrow. Proverbs 18:21 states, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof." Stop speaking about what almost destroyed you and start declaring what God is building. Your mouth is prophetic. Use it wisely. Hebrews 10:35-36 says, "Cast not away therefore your confidence, which hath great recompense of reward. For ye have need of patience, that after ye have done the will of God, ye might receive the promise." You've been patient. You've done God's will even when it hurt. Now the promise is being delivered. The trial is concluding, and what's on the other side is worth everything you endured to get there. The Lord has spoken. This trial concludes now, not because you're perfect, but because you're faithful. Not because you had all the answers, but because you kept asking the right questions. Not because you never doubted, but because you chose faith anyway. You are stepping out of the furnace refined, restored, and ready for what's next, and heaven is applauding your perseverance. Before you go, I need you to type "blessed and ready" in the comments. Declare with your words that you're ready to receive what God is releasing. And if this message spoke to your spirit, share it with someone who needs to know their season is changing. Don't keep this to yourself. Your obedience to share might be the word that saves someone's faith today. Make sure you're subscribed to Pray to Begin channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next message God has for you. We're building a community of believers who refuse to quit, who trust God's timing, and who know that every trial has an expiration date. My friend, your weeping has endured for a night, but joy is coming in the morning. And your morning is here. Walk boldly into everything God has prepared. You've earned this moment. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next video.